Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Guitar Bay. I'm Takis.
I'm Danny. What we're drinking today, mate?
Today, Danny, we're drinking something non-alcoholic, a mocktail, I think someone say. Was it you who says a mocktail?
It's
a non-alcoholic cocktail. Cheers, mate, and cheers
mate.
everyone. This is, it's called the Ugly Virgin.
The virgin being the non-alcoholic part, I imagine. It's an ugly virgin, right? You episode. We're that far now.
Yes, you. That's why the Ugly Virgin, which is...
Okay, keep going.
You. Exactly. So the Ugly Virgin, which is 2 ounces grapefruit, 2 ounces lemon, and 2 ounces orange.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Yeah. Some ice would have been nice.
Yeah.
That rhymes. But there was no ice in the fridge.
But it's not about ice in the fridge today, is it? Or the freezer, wherever you keep it, wherever you're from.
I've been digging the 339 lately. I just keep playing this more than the telly, I have to say.
It's a lovely sound. We've now got the hot rod and the Laney, so we're all valved up in here, and it's time for another guitar.
Okay,
and
that's what I know.
Yes.
It's your turn, and you've told me there's a guitar. Actually, you told me there's a bunch of guitars.
Yeah, there's a
stashed
backlog
away in your apartment. By the way, I'll put it in the description too. Now we have 2 Sennheiser E906 microphones. So we have the same, the standard flat profile Sennheiser for guitar amps, and we have these 2 now for the amps. I thought I can just have the same mic twice, and I was tempted to get a second 57, but they stick out. So the Sennheiser is more flat profile, so we have the same mics now
Looking
on the 2
good.
amps. So we can be comparing, a guitar through both amps, knowing that they both have the same mic on to eliminate any, variables because of the different microphones. So, guitar, sir.
Yes.
Can I have a guitar, please?
This is the most expensive one we've had so far.
Okay, that's the one then. You told me about this one.
And I've been loving this one very much. It's got a lot of character. It cost me 650. Came from Slovakia. It was a Reverb offer that I made.
When you say it came from Slovakia, you mean it was shipped from Slovakia?
Shipped from
it was
Slovakia.
Not made in Slovakia.
No,
that would have been quite
made in Japan. So we're getting to that sort of higher tier of guitars.
Made in Japan.
Yes.
Okay, we're leaving the cheaper Asian countries in terms of guitar manufacturing. Of course. Don't get me wrong. We haven't had a Japanese guitar before.
No, and it comes in a wonderful case, which is.
It's the one I see
there. Very sexy. Yeah.
This is the guitar that is threatening to replace your main guitar, right? Because you've told me a bunch of things about this one. I have to say, the vintage episode, before you open it.
I'm just getting
the vintage Telecaster, like 2 episodes ago, the Butterscotch vintage Telecaster. I haven't seen Danny being more emotionally, bonded with a guitar. You keep talking about it.
Yeah, I still would like to have it back actually, but the guy bought it over the video, which is great.
Was in Belgium?
Yes, and I sent it over to him, and he seems really happy with it.
Oh, he should be. It was that pickup, that bridge pickup was so wild.
There's something about a telly, an old sort of vintage feeling telly.
And it was doing the telly thing quite well, this guitar. So I've got a very nice hard case, vintagey looking hard Gator quality case in front of me. And judging by the shape...
What could be in there?
Many things. Depending on how the foam is cut and everything. When you said Japan and 650, I thought Japanese Fender. That was my first.
Well, there's other guitars coming out of Japan, and I'll tell you, it's almost a vintage guitar in the sense it's from the 90s.
Is it like a Yamaha Samurai or something? These amazing Japanese Yamahas that have a very vintagey P90 setup.
I can tell you that it's sort of a copy, but it's influenced. It's made by probably the biggest manufacturer in the business. One of them.
It's the Japanese Fender then. So I'm opening it. Oh, look at the light in my face. That's fine. It's one of the hatches, not... Okay, and... Oh, this cannot be a Fender, because it's an SG. And it says Orville. Hey?
Yes.
Whew. Oh. Ah, this looks
vintage,
quality.
right?
It looks, I mean, it's been played. It's got dings.
Do you know what the thing?
So this is the guitar, and it's an SG, a typical SG red color with the smaller pick guard. Orville.
Which
is that the Japanese Gibson?
It's made by Gibson,
Okay.
yes. So
Okay.
in
you
the
got me there.
late 80s, early 90s, there were many companies that copied Gibsons, Grecos, Takis, Edwards, what other ones? I don't know. But instead of getting copied by they were trademarked, and at that time Greco, Tokai were making amazing copies of the guitars, and Gibson said, why don't we make our own guitars under Orville? I think was the grandfather of Gibson. It's a family name still, and it's an exact, it's exact. It's probably made just as well as the Gibsons in USA. And they were made in 2 factories at the time, a Terada factory and the Fujinjin factory, and that's determined by the serial number, I think by a sticker or a stamp, and this one's a stamp, which is a more regarded, sought after Orville.
You've done your research too,
And,
very nice. Set neck, right? One piece.
Yeah.
There's no gluing, there's no nothing. It's one.
It's got a bit of a wonky
Gibson.
tuner but it plays unbelievable. It plays like butter. And we had the vintage SG on the episode, and that was one of the most surprising guitars that we had, that I really connected with. And this one I connect with just as much.
No neck dive.
It's a gorgeous SG, and the neck is
It's
stunning.
made like a Gibson.
And it has that. It's actually got a different pickup in the bridge. It's got a Seymour Duncan SH5.
Not the stock pickups they had when it was made. It had when it was made.
They came with PAFs, with PAF style pickups.
So they were made with PAFs, but this is a Seymour Duncan.
This is a Seymour Duncan, and it's perfectly balanced. Sounds amazing. It has the PAF quack in the middle neck position, and it's so beat up. I will post pictures. I got really good pictures from the seller, but I really loved how much it's been played, and it's got so many dings. It's probably been gigged, but the neck, like the mother of pearl, the frets, it looks brand new. It's stunning.
This part of the guitar looks brand
Yeah.
new. This part of the guitar looks quite beaten, but not in an unpleasant way, by any stretch of the imagination. It's got the natural wear you would expect from a guitar that's been around. Do you know the year it was made?
So I think it's a 90.
The first 2 letters are 80. Could that be 1980?
It's not 80, no. It could be 89 or early 90s.
805191. Could be 91.
Yeah, I think it's 91 probably, yeah.
Okay.
New strings.
Again, it needs a bit of tuning, but that happens with new strings.
But yeah, it's a beauty, and it's a nice noodler, like sitting on the couch, just plays so smooth, and it stays in tune amazing. The pots, it's large CTS pots, 500K.
The nut's really well cut.
It's such a beautiful guitar. Man, I'm looking forward to hearing it. This will be the first time I've heard it through a valve amp, but I've had it through the Katana a fair bit. And
You've had it at home with the Katana all this time. So now it's time to valve it up, to tube it up. I mean, it's
gorgeous. It looks even better in the bay, in the light, and God, it's stunning. And the case too, beautiful.
It came with the case for $650.
$650 delivered, so I paid. I think.
They're not made anymore, right? So you cannot find a new.
No.
Orville will have to be second-hand at this point.
Always, yeah. I think they discontinued them in '98, and then they started producing probably the lower tier Gibsons, your classics, your studios.
Also in Japan, or this?
No, in America.
This enterprise
again.
stopped completely. Yeah.
I think they.
So
they
that alone
they
makes
sued.
it a.
They sued all the other companies that were doing this, and I think that put an end to what we know as the lawsuit era guitars.
Okay.
But they're very sought after.
But that makes it exactly. That makes it a collectible item.
Totally.
And if it's a good guitar, and this one seems. So the tuners are just very vintage, like nothing on the tuners. They look like typical Gibson style deluxe tuners.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it is time to do some plugging in.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. So magically, the SG is now plugged. The Orville SG.
Orville SG.
That's it.
Yeah. I think it's based on a 61 or 62. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a standard, very standard. So you're at 600-700. You're likely to find them between 600-700, also up to 1,000 and plus. Then you can also find your Les Paul Customs from Orville, your standards. They're stunning. They're stunning guitars, really.
This is my first encounter ever with an Orville guitar, and I like it that you're spicing things up.
It's got a lovely clean
More
tone,
exotic.
really glassy, sort of typical SG. Really nice.
Well, I strummed it a bit while we were plugging in, and it sounds like an SG. This mid honk that the wood of an SG produces. Yeah, we're there. So I'm in the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. It's the third iteration of the Hot Rod Deluxe with the Celestion 7080, the stock speaker. And this is the clean channel. I'm in the first input, and this is the bridge pickup. It has this honk already. Mid position. And things are quite dry. There's no reverb. I mean, a tiny amount maybe. But there's quite a bit from the amp.
Has a kind of piano-ish sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
The attack of the string,
Yeah.
The neck. Very pleasant stuff.
Gorgeous.
I'm not going to go delay. I'll just go straight into Royal Bluage because it's become my reference for overdrives, and I want to hear every guitar through this thing. And that's what I'm going to do while remaining on the neck pickup. Some bridgie. And some blues driver into the Royal Blue.
It's doing that Angus Young thing, you know.
Woo!
Shoot.
Okay.
Love it.
Sir, you want so Laney LC50.
Yeah, give some Laney. A bit of more of that Marshall sort of vibe.
Yeah, more mid humpy. Now just the amp with some reverb.
Yes. You can kind of play with the neck. You know.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Vintage style sounding PAF humbuckers.
Try a little bit of crunch.
Is that your LY pedals, the King of Clone?
Yeah, that's just that little bit of crunch.
Oh, it's amazing. It's an amazing pedal.
So transparent. But I'll go the Model M, that's the Tone City.
That's your Marshall in a box, so it's going to be more gain now.
Yeah, on the
Let's
crunch
go.
side.
There's nothing wrong with that sound at all.
Right.
That's fun all night. And I think, I didn't hear it with the Marshall in the box through the hot rod, but I think an SG with a Marshall sounding pedal comes, the Laney with a slightly more British voice speaker just does it justice. These wonderful mids, very sweet, very, not as spiky, the top end. You could hear more bell, the piano thing, the bell-like crystal thing, especially with a clean sound in the Fender, which is what they're, known for and what people buy them for. But distorted, oh my God.
That was a hell of a sound. I'm not an Angus Young player, but that if you want to try.
I associate, obviously Angus Young is Angus Young, and it's a symbol, AC/DC with the SG, but I associate SGs and SG type of playing with Tony Iommi and Black Sabbath. Maybe because I was listening to more Black Sabbath than AC/DC while growing up. I always dug
There's a lot of tricks you can do with an SG. You can do the middle position, roll off the neck a bit. You don't have the harshness too much of the bridge break.
Articulation.
Just unbelievable.
Really nice.
Like,
I'm out of drink. It's the first time ever.
you have a drink?
I drunk first.
Feeling woozy?
No, there's no alcohol. But it's because I was enjoying the show, the playing.
Shall we jam with this in the 339?
I think we shall. The 339, you say? I like the cheeky major in the end always, just the major third.
All right.
Good red guitar awesomeness today. I mean, that's where the awesomeness is coming from. This one stayed in the bay.
Yeah, this one maybe too. Let's see.
I think.
After that.
We have no SG.
No, we don't, and that's. I also like it as a recording guitar. I like it as a live guitar. I still am a Strat man, I think. I'm still a Strat single coil man, but
We don't play your Jackson enough, I have to say. We have to honor it more.
true. We have such nice. I mean, the Jackson is like the safe bet for me. You know, it's like the gigging guitar, does everything, and as we found out the other day, it does the whole. When you put on the bridge humbucker, it just turns into like a boost pedal.
Oh, that's it's a
pedal.
ridiculously loud humbucker, yeah, compared to the rest of the guitar. But if you use that to your advantage, it's like having a boost pedal, exactly. Yeah.
But this thing is just stunning, and I love how much character it has. I love how much love it's had. It's been through the wars, you know, and I would take it through a few more.
Oh, it's
and it's just,
well put, nice and poetically.
Yeah.
Okay, what was it? Album section.
Album with you.
Final piece of the episode. Who goes first?
I'll go first.
You'll go
I think
first.
it's probably predictable. Mine's just Use Your Illusion.
It is predictable. I
The
was about to
second-
say. The second, Use Your
second
two,
album.
the blue one.
Yeah.
Right?
The
Yellow. The first
blue
one is yellow.
Yes, true. The blue one.
The second one is
Yeah.
blue. The second one has Civil War.
Yeah.
Don't Cry 2.
Yeah. You Could Be Mine.
You Could Be Mine is in the second one.
Yeah.
That's a good candidate for being the better one of the two, right?
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Also.
I mean, the first one has a couple of bangers too.
Coma is in the first one.
Yeah.
Don't Cry 1 is in the first one.
Locomotive is in the second one. And Slash, of course. And
Yeah.
Slash is also at his peak in that time as well, with the riffs and the melodies. And You Could Be Mine with the Terminator 2 collaboration. That song is just rock and roll and so memorable. You know, Guns N' Roses, I love
Is it a
them,
plexi
but
he plays there?
he played JCM, a modified
800s.
JCM, and he played a few amps, and at that point he even had his own signature
Okay.
SL.
That's what I've associated the Marshall sound with.
A Jubilee. I think he played a
Slash.
Jubilee.
Okay.
Yeah, and that really bitey Les Paul. No one has that sound other than him. That like
Many afterwards.
Yeah, like
obviously.
that cocked wah sound.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
just.
This cuts through anything.
Yeah.
You will definitely hear what the guitar plays with that setup.
And
All
it's
right.
just Slash at its peak. So, what can I say? Your album?
Yeah, Use Your Illusion. My album is an album that I discovered through my wife, and it is the Under the Iron Sea by Keane.
Mm.
And I think it's
Wow.
a brilliant and very dark sometimes album. I mean, Keane is a great band, unique vocalist, unique songwriting, this distorted piano, Rhodes and piano, kind of peaking and overdriving. It's a very wonderful sound. And they had come out with Hopes and Fears in the late 90s, I think, where everybody's changing in all these songs, and Somewhere Only We Know. The next album was Under the Iron Sea with the songs, God. What's the? I forget the titles of the songs, but I know the album very well. Bad Dream, Just Another Day, Nothing in My Way. That's the title. The hit song is the one with the double snare. Is It Any Wonder? The opening track is very dark and very atmospheric, and just an amazingly produced album as well. I think it's their peak moment.
It's like that out of tune piano almost.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
That,
I mean,
like-
it's distorting.
Yeah.
He's just driving it through guitar amps, and it's distorting. He's
Yeah.
overdriving the piano.
They come back recently. I'm sure
Yeah,
they've
true,
reunited,
true.
and it's a shame that they didn't sort of carry on there. They were mainstream for a while as well,
Yes.
and
Under the Iron Sea, the self-titled track too. I know this album very well, so well that I stopped paying attention to the tracks and what's happening, because every time we would drive somewhere, we just put this album on, and it's a good hour of dark. It's darker than the previous one, the Hopes and Fears, and maybe that's why I like it. But it was my wife that turned me to it. So, yeah.
nice. All right, that's us for another episode, and the Orville will probably be an advert down below. Let's see, and
Oh, that was good.
keep liking, keep subscribing. Tell your friends.
Yeah, you see that the frequency of the videos is not really stable because we're trying things out, and we had both COVID in the last couple of weeks.
So we're both knocked out for a little while.
Yeah, this kind of slowed things down. But yeah, we're approaching the end of season 1.
Yeah,
and we'll
almost
see
at the
how
Z.
we can wrap things up and maybe improve the workflow and frequency and everything. Got the hot rod, we got the Sennheiser mics. Thank you for watching, subscribing, supporting. Yeah, we'll see you next time. And I have no drink.
I filled you up.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.